house still knows your name, but it doesn't break me now. I walk past your picture frame and I don't fall down. The silence hasn't left, it just changed its sound. It used to feel like drowning, now it's solid ground. I still talk to you sometimes when the evening gets too long, but the tears don't crash like thunder, they just quietly come and go. I've started moving things just a little at a time, not to erase your memory, just to make the space of mine. I opened up the windows, let the daylight in. For the first time since you left, I felt it on my skin. The grief doesn't disappear, it softens at the edge. It teaches you to breathe again on a fragile edge. I'm learning to stand again on legs that used to shake, learning how to live a life that loss could not take. I'm learning to smile again without feeling wrong, carrying your love with me as I move along. You're not behind me, you're not gone in the end. You're the reason I'm learning to stand again. The world didn't stop turning, even when mine did. And slowly I remember there's still life to live. I met an old friend for coffee, I heard myself laugh. It scared me at first, like joy was something I shouldn't have. But I think you'd want that, I think you'd say, don't let love in me stand in your way. Some days are still heavy, some nights still break, but healing isn't linear, it bends before it makes. I'm learning to stand again through the ache and the grace, learning that your memory is strength, not just a place. I'm learning to breathe again without losing you, because everything you taught my heart is still pulling me through. You're not the shadow, you're the light I defend. You're the reason I'm learning to stand again. I used to think that moving on meant leaving you behind, but love like ours doesn't unwind. It changes form, it shifts its place, from holding your hand to carrying your grace. And maybe being brave now is waking up each day and choosing to keep going anyway. I'm learning to stand again on ground that once gave way, turning every broken piece into strength each day. I'm learning to love again in a different light, not replacing what we had, but honoring it right. You're not a goodbye, you're not an end. You're the reason I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm learning to stand again. The house still knows your name, but it also knows mine. And tonight, for the first time, I feel fine. Was a time we blamed the weather for every crack inside these walls, like we were victims of the thunder, like we had no control at all. We said the world was out to get us, we said the timing wasn't right. We never stopped to see the damage we were causing in the fight. Pressure without rain. Every word we threw like weapons left a mark we can't explain. We were passion in its purest, we were chaos in disguise, calling it intensity instead of compromise. We were fire without direction, burning just to feel alive, never asking what would happen if the flame survived. But storms don't last forever, even when they feel that strong. And maybe all that breaking was teaching us we were wrong. We were the storm, we were the rain, we were the reason for half the pain. We were the thunder we couldn't outrun, we were the battle we thought we'd won. We were the storm. Blame the past for every fraction, blame the fear for every scar. But sometimes love doesn't fail you, sometimes you just push too hard. We were young and barely breathing under all that pride, trying not to look weak, trying not to cry. But strength is not destruction, and love is not a war. We learned that through the wreckage, we don't fight like that anymore. It's easier to point a finger rebirth. Maybe we had to break apart to know what we were worth. But we learned to be something stronger, something free. If tomorrow comes without a warning like it used to in the past, if the sky turns gray without a sign and the shadows fall too fast, would we still remember everything we learned, every bridge we crossed, every page we turned? We've been through the fire, we've been through the rain, we've said things we didn't mean, we've carried all the pain. We stood at the edge of letting go, we've watched the cracks begin to show. But every time we almost broke, we found another way, not to run from the storm, but to choose to stay. If tomorrow tries to test us like yesterday once did, we won't be the same scared hearts we were as kids. Tomorrow comes and the lights go out, if the doubts return and the fear gets loud, we won't fall apart like we did before. We've learned what love is fighting for. If tomorrow comes, we'll just need this moment and the truth behind your eyes. We don't have perfection, we don't have control, but we've got something stronger, a steady kind of soul. We're not who we were when this all began. We were barely breathing, now we understand. The future isn't promised, it never was before, but we don't fear the unknown like we did anymore. If tomorrow comes with a brand new fight, if the world shakes hard in the dead of night, we'll hold the line, we won't outrun all that we've become. If tomorrow comes, let it Maybe strength isn't armor, maybe it's release. Maybe love isn't loud, maybe it's peace. Maybe growing up is learning how to bend without breaking in the end. If this is our turning page, if this is where we start, then let tomorrow find us with open hearts. If tomorrow comes, we won't be afraid. Every scar we carry helped us be remade. Through every storm, through every fall, we're still standing after it all. If tomorrow comes, we'll face the sun, not as who we were, but who we've become. Whoa, if tomorrow comes. The night is quiet, the air is calm. No need for armor, no need for alarms. Whatever waits beyond this door, we've walked this road before. If tomorrow comes, we're ready. The clock still ticks the same, the curtains still let in the dawn. Nothing in this house has changed, except you're gone. Your glasses by the sink, your jacket on the chair. I tell myself I shouldn't move them, like you might still need them there. They say time will help, they say I'll learn to breathe, but they don't see the silence you've left inside of me. The kettle still screams at 7, like it always did before. I poured 2 cups without thinking, then I put one back once more. I never feared the dark, not when you were near. Now even morning light feels heavier without you here. We used to joke about forever, like we had control. Now forever feels like an echo in this hole. There's an empty side of the bed where your warmth used to stay, a spaceship like your body that won't fade away. There's an unfinished conversation still hanging in the air. I keep turning to tell you things, but you're not there. Love doesn't disappear, but it changes instead. Now it lives in the quiet on the empty side of the bed. I found your handwriting on a list we never used. Groceries for a Sunday we were supposed to choose. The world keeps moving forward like nothing's out of place, but mine stopped turning the day I lost your face. People say you're in a better place. I'm not like I believe, but the better place I wanted was right here next to me. We built a life from nothing, brick by careful brick. Now I'm walking through the ruins, trying not to break too quick. There's an empty side of the bed where your heartbeat used to be. I still wake up reaching like you're reaching back for me. There's a silence in the hallway where your laughter used to spread. Now every night I lie beside the empty side of the bed. Love doesn't end, it just hurts instead. It lingers in the hollow on the empty side of the bed. I'm angry at the ceiling, I'm angry at the sky, at doctors' fate and timing, at every last goodbye. But mostly I'm just broken in ways I can't explain. 'Cause loving you this deeply means living with this pain. If grief is just love with nowhere left to go, then mine is overflowing more than you could know. But your love still remains in the walls, in my chest, in my veins. And one day when it's my turn, when my own light dims, I won't be afraid. I'll see you again. Until then, I'll carry what we had. Every night I lay my head beside the memory on the empty side of the bed. The clock still ticks the same. The dawn still breaks overhead, and I'm still here on the empty side of the bed. Falling in slow motion, sirens screaming through the night. We were standing in the wreckage, still holding on too tight. Your eyes reflecting burning buildings, like the end was drawing near. But in the middle of the chaos, you whispered, I'm still here. Down. If the ground beneath us shakes, if tomorrow never comes, we'll make it through today. We'll run through the fire, through the smoke and the flames, when the world's collapsing and nothing remains, when the night gets darker and hope feels tired, we won't fade away. We'll run through the fire. Through the fire. Ashes falling like snow on the dreams we used to know. Every doubt was gasoline, every fear a spark unseen. But your hand in mine was a lifeline in the heat. Two hearts beating louder than the sirens in the street. They can say we're reckless, they can say we'll burn, but we've already crossed the line. There's no return. If the sky comes crashing down, if the oceans rise in waves, if the future's just a question, we don't need to be afraid. We'll run through the fire, through the smoke and the flames, when the world's collapsing and nothing remains. The dawn begins to rise. We're still standing in the embers with the truth inside our eyes. Maybe love's not shelter, maybe it's the fight, and we chose each other in the darkest night. Yeah, we ran through the fire, and we're still alive. The door was half open, like it always used to be. A silent invitation to run if we needed to leave. We both seen the ending, we both felt the fall. We know how it shatters when it shatters at all. We're not standing in fireworks, no parade in the street, no promises shouted over reckless heartbeats. We've got coffee-stained mornings and bills on the sink. We've got scars that still whisper every time that we blink. But there's something in the quiet, in the way you say my name, that feels stronger than passion and steadier than flame. I don't need forever written in the sky. I just need your hand in mine when the storms roll by. So stay away when the spark fades to gray, when the high feels low and the easy feels far away. Stay away when the words get hard to say, when the doubts creep in and the night won't break. We don't have to be perfect, we don't have to be brave. Just stay anyway. We've both got our shadows, we both got our past. We know what can happen when love moves too fast. But this isn't rushing, this isn't escape. This is two broken people choosing to stay. Not because we're afraid of being alone, but because in your silence I feel at home. I don't need a guarantee that we won't fall apart. I just need you standing when it gets dark. So stay away when the colors all fade, when the music is gone and there's no serenade. Stay away when the doubts start to play, when it's easier to run than it is to remain. We don't need forever to start today. Maybe it's a light that doesn't blind your vision, but helps you see at night. Maybe it's not glory or a headline on a page. Maybe it's just choosing each other every day. If the past comes knocking, if the fear returns, will you stand beside me when the whole world burns? When the road feels long, when we both miss off, when we both get it wrong, stay anyway. When the shine wears thin, when we're face to face with the mess we're in, we don't need perfection. We don't need to be saved. Just stay anyway. Whoa, stay anyway. Door's still half open, but neither of us moves. Not because we're trapped, but because we choose. No fireworks tonight, no grand display, just two hearts that decided to stay. One day the house will be quiet, pictures hanging on the walls, echoes of laughter in the hallway, names written in pencil, growing tall. Time doesn't ask permission, it just keeps moving on. But love, if we build it right, is something that lives long. We used to chase the lightning, we used to chase the night. Now we're chasing little moments, trying to raise them right. Tiny hands that hold our fingers, white eyes are learning truth. Every answer that we give them is shaping something new. They don't see the battles we fought before they came. They just see two steady hearts, not afraid to say their names. If ever ask who we were before the gray and slow, I hope they see the fire in the way we let them grow. It's not the noise we made, not the songs we sang, not the crowds that called our name, or the trophies that we claimed. forgiveness over, walking away when the lights all fade and the years unwind. We won't be remembered for what we own, but for what we leave behind. Maybe one day they'll stumble, maybe they'll lose their way, maybe they'll feel the darkness we once felt in our day. But if we've built this strong enough, if we've shown them how to stand, they'll know that falling isn't failure, it's just learning who you are again. And maybe when they're older and life cuts deep and wide, they'll hear our steady voices somewhere deep inside, telling them they're braver than the fear they feel, that love is more than lightning, it's choosing to be real. It's not the fame or glory, not the wild years gone, it's the kindness in the quiet that keeps echoing on. It's the way we held each other when the world turned cold. It's the stories told at dinner as they grow. When the lights all fade and the night unwinds, we won't be remembered for what we chased, but for what we leave behind. We were falling without warning, we were reckless and loud. Now we're building something sacred without needing a crowd. From the fire to the stillness, from the chaos to calm, every scar became a lesson, every lesson became a home. If this is our greatest song, it won't play on the radio, it'll live in beating hearts long after we go. It's not the noise we made, not the storms we survived, it's the love that keeps breathing long after goodbye. When the curtains close and the years decline, we won't be remembered for what we achieved, but for what we leave behind. What we leave behind. The house grows quiet, the lights go dim, but love keeps echoing from within. Fade out slowly. No fireworks tonight, no chaos in the sky, just your hand in mine in a quiet kind of light. We've been through the storm, we've learned how to bend, Love doesn't have to burn to mean it's the end. We don't slam doors anymore, we don't keep score. We say what we mean and we don't turn it into war. Your silence isn't distance now, it's peace inside the room. We don't need to shout to know this love won't do. We've traded reckless nights for steady breathing truth, and somehow that feels stronger than all the fire of youth. I used to think love had to hurt to prove that it was real. Now I know the deepest kind is the one you calmly feel. Stay until the morning, stay through every doubt, stay when it's not perfect, stay when we figure it out. We don't need alignment, we don't need the storm. Just stay until the morning, and I'll stay for more. Love doesn't have to scream to be worth fighting for. Just stay until the morning and we'll be sure. We've seen the cracks in each other and chose not to run. We faced the hardest questions and answered them one by one. You know my worst confessions, I know your hidden fears. We don't pretend we're fearless, we just stay through the tears. No grand dramatic exits, no walking out the door. Just two imperfect people learning what love's for. It's not about forever, it's about right now. Choosing you each morning and somehow stay until the morning, stay through every phase, stay when life gets heavy, stay through changing days. We don't need a headline, we don't need a flame. Just stay until the morning and choose me again. Love doesn't need to bleed to be something pure. Just stay until the morning and we'll endure. Maybe real love whispers, maybe it doesn't roar. Maybe it's just two shadows standing by the door. Not running, not hiding, not trying to win. Just holding each other and letting life Stay when skies turn gray, stay No spotlight, no world, just us choosing more. Stay. There's a silence in the morning that we never heard before. Not the kind that breaks your spirit, not the kind that starts a war. It's the quiet of two survivors breathing side by side. After all the noise we carry, after all we tried to hide. We've said the words I'm sorry more times than we can count. We've built our walls like castles, then tore the whole thing down. We used to shout our feelings like louder men, more true. Now we read the space between us and somehow always knew the way your fingers tremble when something's on your mind, the way I look away when I'm falling behind. We don't need to scream it, we don't need neon signs. We've learned how to listen between the lines, between the lines. That's where we live, in the quiet truth. We don't have to give no fireworks, no grand designs, just you and me between the lines. Whoa, between the lines. Love's not always thunder, sometimes it's the rain, falling soft and steady, washing off the pain. It's the way you wait for me when I'm lost in doubt, the way you leave the light on when I'm still not out. We don't chase perfection, we don't chase the show. We found something deeper in letting go. We don't fear the silence like we did before. We know what it's holding and what it's for. Between the lines, that's where we stand. Not in fairy tales, but hand in hand. Through every low, through every climb, we found our strength between That's where we grow in every truth we didn't show. Through every scar, through every sign, we built this life between the lines. Between the lines. The morning light is rising through curtains barely drawn. We're not chasing lightning, we're just holding on. Not because we're scared, not because we're blind, but because we found something real between the lines. just to find this spark. Maybe every broken piece was pointing to this start. We were never meant to stay in a place that felt that small. Sometimes you have to drive away to become who you are. Just a memory fading in the night. We're headlights in the distance, racing toward the light. No more looking backward, no more staying close. We found ourselves on wide open roads. There's a quiet in the evening that we never used to know. Back when we were chasing echoes, back when we had to glow. Now the world feels softer, like it's finally understood that love was never lightning, it was simply good. The trophies gather dust now, the headlines fade away. The songs we used to scream out are whispers in the grave. But every single moment, every fall and every climb led us to this stillness, this gentle kind of time. We don't need to prove it, we don't need to explain. The loudest kind of victory is peace after the pain. If tomorrow never calls us, if this is where we stay, I wouldn't change a single step along the way. This is the last light we keep, not the one that blinds, but the one that glows when we close our eyes. This is the last song we need, no encore, no stage, just the sound of breathing, turning page by page. We were fire once, now we're steady flame, and I'd live it all again, just just the same. The house still holds our laughter in corners of the air. The ghosts we used to fight with don't live here anymore. Every crack in the ceiling, every mark along the wall is proof that love is built by staying through it all. We were never perfect, we were never clean, but we chose each other in between. If the night grows longer, if the stars burn slow, we'll meet it hand in hand, letting go. This is the last light we keep, soft and gold, not the reckless blades of when we were bold. This is the last truth we know. After all the years, love is not the absence of fear, it's staying here. We were young once, now we see the quiet was the victory. No more racing shadows, no more needing more, no unfinished battles, no locked doors, just breathing bone and heart and skin, and the simple grace of where we've been. This is the last light we keep when the sun goes down, not fading out, just settling now. If this is the final scene, if this is goodbye, we won't burn out, we'll dim into the sky. And somewhere in the silence, where all stories sleep, we'll still be glowing in the last light we keep. No warning, no fear, just here. There's a quiet after the chaos, after the screaming ends, after the door slams shut and you're strangers again. We were lightning in a bottle, too electric to contain. Now we're just reflections in opposite window panes. The smoke still lingers from the bridges that we burned. Some lessons come too late, some pages never turn. I never meant to hurt you, you never meant to stay. But we were writing different endings on the same blank page. What happens after the afterglow? When the fire stops putting on a show, when the sparks don't light the room, and the silence comes too soon. Do we fade into the night, or learn to stand alone? What happens after the afterglow? Your side of the bed but my pride is colder still. We both said things we didn't mean just to prove we will. The truth is never gentle, it cuts without a sound. And sometimes love's not lost, it's just never found. Every photograph we kept feels heavier than before, like holding on to pieces of something we can't restore. What happens after the afterglow, when the fire's just smoke and the words don't flow, when the heat turns into stone and we're standing there alone? Do we fight or let it go? What happens after the afterglow? Maybe love's not fireworks, maybe it's the ash. Maybe we were meant to burn, but never meant to last. If I see you years from now, will it still feel this close? Or will we just be strangers who almost loved the most? What happens after the afterglow, when we finally let it go, when the pain turns into grace and the tears don't leave a trace? Maybe we don't need to know, maybe we just grow. After the afterglow, after the afterglow, we grow. City lights flicker like they're calling out our names. We were kings of the skyline, dancing in the rain. Your hand in mine, we were sparks in the dark, two runaway souls leaving permanent marks. The radio was playing our rebellion song. We were young enough to think we could never be wrong. You said forever tastes better after midnight, like cheap wine and a rooftop high. We carved our dreams into If I shut the door, you disappear. Tell me, was it worth the fall? Were we nothing after all? Fading slow, but I finally let you go. We were standing on the edge, like the fall was just a game. You said love's a loaded gun, but I pulled the trigger anyway. The skyline burned behind us like a warning in the air. We were laughing at the danger like we didn't have a care. You taste like danger and gasoline, every kiss a crime scene. We were high above the skyline, living like it's our time. Every heartbeat like a countdown, every touch a spark. We were riding on forever in the dark. But gravity doesn't care about the vows we made. It pulls us back to earth from every high we chase. I saw the warning signs written in your stare, but I ignored the truth, 'cause I was already there. I felt the ground beneath us starting to disappear. Gravity doesn't care if we're too young to fall. Doesn't matter if we swear we can conquer it all. We can scream, we can fly, we can light up the night, but gravity doesn't care. It wins every fight. It wins every fight. Your words were like a hurricane spinning through my brain. Every state turned into leaf, every truth into make-believe. We were dancing in slow motion while the ground was breaking open. I held you like a lifeline, but you were already gone. Every promise turned to echoes, fading in the air. We were floating for a moment, now we're nowhere. Every second in the air felt like we were gods, but the higher that we climbed, the harder we dropped. I can hear the sound of us shattering apart. Gravity doesn't care if we beg it to stop. Doesn't matter how we swear, we'll never hit Maybe it was built to break. Maybe we were just a spark in a sky too wide to take. We were burning bright and fast, like we'd never hit the ground. But even shooting stars eventually burn out. Tell me if you do it again, knowing how it ends, would you still take my hand just to fall like this? Care. Now I'm standing on the ground where we used to fly, looking at the empty sky, wondering why. Maybe some loves are meant to teach, not to stay. Maybe falling's just the price we have to pay. Yeah, gravity doesn't care, but I cared anyway. There's a knock inside my head, like a door I never closed. Every silence feels infected, every truth overexposed. The mirror shows a stranger with my face but different eyes. Every promise that I buried starts to rise. I've been running from the wreckage of the man I used to be. Every bridge I ever burned still smolders under me. I hear your voice in the static, like a signal breaking through. But every time I reach for it, it disappears from view. The night knows all my story I can rewrite. Maybe I'm the reason we didn't survive. If I face the reflection instead of running away, maybe these shadows will finally break. The house feels different when you fall asleep. I watch you breathing like it's mine to keep. There's a fragile kind of silence that I've come to know. When love runs this deep, you start fearing letting go. We've talked about forever like it's just a word, but time has a way of making it hurt. Your laughter lines are maps of everywhere we've been, every gray hair shining like the battles that we win. I never used to think about what happens at the end, but loving you this long makes my courage bend. If one day the world asks one of us to leave, there's something in my heart I need you to believe. If you go first, don't be afraid. I'll carry your voice in the choices I make. If you go first, I'll still see your face in the light of the morning, in every quiet place. Love like ours doesn't disappear. If you go first, you'll still be here. We built this life together, brick by fragile brick, through every doubt, through every risk. From reckless nights of fire to steady, quiet grace, we learned that love is something you embrace. And if the day comes when I'm standing alone, I won't call it empty, I'll call it home. Because every wall, every door, every frame will whisper your name. I don't fear the dark If you go first, leave the light on. I'll follow your footsteps when my time comes. If you go first, don't say goodbye. We've crossed too many storms to be scared of the sky. Love like ours was built to outlast fear. If you go first, you'll still be here. Maybe that's the secret to loving this long. You stop being afraid of what could go wrong. You stop trying to hold time inside your hands. You just say thank you while you still can. If you go first, I'll be okay, because you taught my heart how to stay. If you go first, I won't break apart. You've already carved forever into my heart. Love like ours doesn't end in tears. If you go first, I'll meet you after all these years. So sleep easy tonight. Don't hold on too tight. We've already won. We've been walking through the wreckage of everything we were. Every scar a reminder, every line a blur. There were nights we nearly gave up, mornings we couldn't stand. But somehow through the silence, you still reached for my hand. We've tasted every failure, we've won every regret. We've stood in pouring rain with nothing left to bet. But every time we stumbled, every time we broke, we found another reason to hold on to hope. We were bent, not shattered, bruised but still alive. They thought we wouldn't make it, but look at us tonight. away. We didn't let it die. We stood inside the storm and faced it eye to eye. Maybe that's what makes us strong. Not that we never fail, but that we found our way back out of hell. To this battle cry, let the heavens open wide, let the lightning split the sky. We were falling without warning, now we're rising, you and I. Whoa, unbreakable tonight. Not tonight. We don't talk about forever like it's written in the stars. We just build it piece by piece from who we really are. No promises in neon, no vows screamed to the sky. Just coffee in the kitchen and truth without disguise. We painted all the walls in colors we both choose. Left space for growing older and room for letting go. We learned that love's not magic, it's patience in disguise. It's holding on to each other when life rearranges the lines. No more chasing echoes, no more proving we're right. Just two steady heartbeats in the middle of the night. We're built on the quiet, on the days no one sees, on the small I'm still here, and the soft stay with me. We're built on the mornings when nothing goes wrong, on the ordinary moments that make us strong. No fireworks above it, no headline to ride. We're built on the quiet, that's why we'll last through every season that passes us by. We've talked about the future like it's something we can shake. Not a dream we're chasing, but a road we slowly pave. Maybe one day laughter echoes down the hall. Maybe tiny footsteps on a hardwood floor. Maybe it's just us still when our hair turns gray, holding on to memories we're making every day. If the world gets heavy, if the lights all fade, we won't need a rescue. We've already been remade. We're built on the quiet, on forgiveness and grace, on the look in your eyes when the world's out of place. We're built on the staying, on the work and the truth, on the love that grows deeper long after our youth. No crashing, no chaos, no dramatic goodbye. We're built on the quiet, and that's why we'll survive. Let the reckless hearts keep chasing the flame. We've danced in that fire, we don't need it again. We found something slower, but stronger somehow. Not louder than thunder, just steady right now. And if the sky falls or the seasons divide, we won't fall apart, we'll build from inside. We're built on the quiet, on the nights we stayed, on the times we were scared, but we didn't walk away. We're built on the promise we renew every day, not written in stone, but in the choices we make. No spotlight above us, no crowd inside. We're built on the quiet, and that's our life. No warning, no fall, no fear at all. Just hands intertwined, and a future we desire. Fade out.
The echoes slowly disappear, footsteps in an empty hall. The lights are cold without the cheers, silence louder than it all. Confetti on the broken floor, like pieces of the night before. Every scream's still in my head, but now it's just a quiet instead. I touch the mic and standing still, like it's waiting for the thrill. But the truth hits harder than the sound when there's no one else around. We were giants in the glow, invincible and loud, but who are we without the crowd? After the applause, after the roar, who are we fighting for? When the spotlight's gone and the stage is bare, do we still care? After the applause, when the night gets small, are we heroes at all? On your shadows on the wall. After the applause, we build our names in neon lights, turned every scar into a fight. We said we'd never lose ourselves, but fame can blur the lines as well. Every promise that we made, every sacrifice we gave, feels different in the quiet room. Without the fire, without the boom, we were fearless in the flame, untouchable somehow. But who are we right now? After the applause, after the sound, when the curtains hit the ground, will we stand just as tall but nobody calls? After the applause, when the echo fades, do we still believe in the noise we made? After the applause, maybe the real test was never on that stage. Maybe the bravest thing is turning the page. Maybe the victory is quieter than we thought, not in the cheers we called, but the battles we fought. Lord, alone. After the applause, after the night, we're still here in the light. Not the kind that blinds, but the kind we find deep inside. After the applause, we still stand, no spotlight in our hands. We don't need the roar to know what we're for. After the applause, we are more. No crowd, no noise, just heartbeat. And that's enough.
We've been living in the shadows of who we used to be, chasing every broken echo through the debris. Every fall without a warning, every night we barely survived. Let us here together, still standing, still alive. We were fire without direction, we were fear without a name. We were running from the silence, blaming everyone but ourselves for the pain. We were crashing into daylight with our eyes half closed. We were fighting every battle no one else even chose. But somewhere in the wreckage, somewhere in the storm, we learned that being broken doesn't mean you can't be reborn. The stage is set, the night is long, the story's almost done. We were falling without warning, now look what we've become. When the lights come on and the night fades out, when the last song plays and there's no more doubt, we'll remember who we were and who we chose to be. Not the fear, not the fall, but the fight to be free. When the lights come on, we won't run, we'll stand in the glow of what we've overcome. Whoa. When the lights come on, we say goodbye to the ghosts, we face the storm inside. We chose to stay when it was easier to let it all slide. We learned that love isn't perfect, it's not diamonds or gold. It's standing in the darkness and refusing to fold. Every scar became a lesson, every tear became a spark. Every moment we felt lost was lighting up the dark. Now the silence doesn't scare us, now the shadows don't control. We were searching for a reason, now we know. When the lights come on and the crowd goes quiet, when the noise is gone and we can't deny it, we'll see the truth in what we've done. We were never defeated, we just had to become. When the lights come on, we'll stand tall. We survived the rise, we survived the fall. Whoa. When the lights come on, remember who we were at the start of this road. Barely holding on to hope under heavy load. We thought the fall would break us, thought the night would win, but sometimes losing everything is how you begin again. If this is the last note, if this is the end, let it echo forever, let it transcend.
don't see. Every scar we carry is our victory. We were falling without warning. We were on the run. Now we're standing in the light. We've become when the lights come on. We're not afraid. Every broken piece helped us be reminded. Whoa. When the lights come on, the night is over, the sky turns gold. We're not the same as the stories we were told. From the fall to the fight, from the dark to the dawn, this is who we are. When the lights come on,